Live from WYLN Hazleton, this is WYLN's Late Edition News at 10 with meteorologist Joe Garbacek, sports with Beth Mensinger, anchors Lisa Sugar and L.A. Tyrone. News, weather, sports, features, and more. You're watching WYLN's Late Edition News at 10.
Good evening and welcome to WYLN's Late Edition for Friday, October 4th, 2013. I'm Ann Gownley. Tonight, details on an art exhibit that you can see at Penn State Hazleton this weekend. Also, a new science center at Wilkes University was unveiled today. L.A. Tyrone will have those details. And it's Friday night, so that means our Beth Mensinger will have highlights from Week 6 of high school football. And Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacek is in the Weather Center with details on next week's big storm. But first, Late Edition's look at tonight's top stories. 2 break-ins at a Hazleton home on Alter Street in just 24 hours. And for what? Copper pipes.
This evening there was a little bit of noise, and I went in my basement and I saw that some water was coming out of one of the pipes, but there was just one pipe that was broken. So I went and checked, and my back door had been broken into on the other side of the house, and there was no one around. And then when I walked between the houses, I saw that the neighbor's house, their lights were on in the basement. Water was pouring in their basement, so then I called the police and boarded up the house after that, thought everything would be okay.
Nashko said she had her boyfriend check on her home around 10 o'clock this morning, and he said everything was fine. By the time she returned home at 3 p.m., she noticed the second break-in.
Even though I had piled all kinds of things in front of the door, and when I went down the basement, all the pipes were gone. Just unbelievable. In broad daylight, how brazen people are. It's just getting horrendous the way the crime is getting and continuing. And this is going on and on with the copper thefts. There's got to be some way of doing something to catch some of these people.
Hazleton police officer Sean Conti says there is a way to catch these criminals. Alert the police immediately if you see any suspicious activity.
For the community to know that when they see a crime being committed, it's very important that they call 911 and report it when it's occurring. Telling your neighbor about it the following day doesn't help us do our job. And by not reporting this, next week it could be your own house involved. We need citizens' help for us to do our job, to help keep them safe and protect their property.
Nashko says she was home at the time of the first break-in and says just living in the area is getting extremely scary.
I was in the house last night when this happened, when someone came into my house. That's frightening to think that someone would do that. Last summer we had an incident where I found tools in the backyard that there was a torch, there was pipe cutters, there was pliers, different things, which I knew that intention was happening, and my window was kicked in. So we nailed up all the windows, so all my windows are now blocked up in the basement. Now I have to do the first floor. I mean, this is ridiculous, where we have to be prisoners in our own houses in a city that we've lived in forever.
As of now, Nashko has no running water and is relying on bottled water until her insurance company can help. Well, just after 7:30 this morning, emergency responders in Hazleton responded to an accident involving an SUV and a Weatherly area school bus. These pictures are from the Hazleton Fire Department. According to police, the accident happened on 1st and Locust Streets in the city. The Ford was traveling west on 1st Street and the bus was traveling north on Locust. The Ford failed to stop at a stop sign, hitting the side of the bus. 4 passengers on the bus were transported to Hazleton General Hospital for evaluation, APTS, along with the Hazleton Fire and Police Departments. 36-year-old John Michael Kuhn-Eastcast is facing homicide by vehicle charges, fleeing from the scene of an accident, involuntary manslaughter, tampering with evidence, and several summary offenses after turning himself into police today. Kuhn-East is accused of hitting and killing 65-year-old Jean Darsky with his car on Mother's Day in front of her home at 302 Westminster Road in Jenkins Township. Darsky was trying to remove a political flyer attached to her mailbox at the time. Darsky's family sought to have Kuhn-East's assets frozen in anticipation of a civil lawsuit. It targeted his sprinkler system business. Kuhn-East was arraigned this afternoon and declined comment on the charges. West Hazelton police obtained a picture from surveillance cameras at the Crown Fried Chicken, where a woman is accused of stealing an employee's cell phone. According to police, the woman entered the restaurant to use the restroom, and when she exited, she removed a Samsung Galaxy S3 cell phone from the counter. The incident happened on September 28th, just before 3 p.m. Anyone who may recognize this woman is asked to contact the West Hazelton Police Department at 570-455-3733 or dial 911. An early morning fire in Mount Carbon damaged an abandoned home and the fire station. It broke out about 4:30 this morning in a home on North Main Street. It spread to a neighboring home and then to the Mount Carbon North Manheim Township Fire Company No. 1. Firefighters were able to remove equipment at the station before the fire damaged it. One person was displaced and is being assisted by the American Red Cross of the Greater Lehigh Valley. Wilkes-Barre police made another drug arrest. They charged 47-year-old Lee Alexander Snyder of Hickory Street with selling cocaine and heroin from his house. Police served a search warrant at his house last night, finding large amounts of cocaine, heroin, and cash. Snyder was charged with 6 counts of possession with intent to deliver. He's in county prison tonight on $60,000 bail. There's a new place to relax and wait for busing at the Church Street Station, Hazelton's Intermodal. The ribbon was cut on the new patio this afternoon. The patio has new tables and chairs to accommodate everyone. We spoke with the executive director of Hazelton Public Transit, Ralph Sharp.
This is a patio we decided to put in this alongside of this facility just for the citizens of Hazelton or anybody that's waiting for a bus. They can come and enjoy, relax, and just hang out if they want to here and just enjoy the day if it's a beautiful day.
Those using the public transit are not the only ones invited to enjoy the new area.
Let me add by saying Angelo's Restaurant's customers can come grab a hoagie, sit at the tables. If people from downtown Candle Building, they want to come over, they can sit. Anybody can come and enjoy this facility.
Sharp says this project was just over 3 months in the making. Teachers in the Weatherly Area School District are reaching out to the school board for help. According to teachers, the classrooms are filling up and they need more teachers. Barbara Slipler, president of the Weatherly Area Education Association, also asked the board during its meeting Wednesday night. She says last year's classes were at 15 students. Now they reach up to about 25, and academic achievements are in jeopardy. The problem areas lie in kindergarten, 1st and 6th grades. Teachers say with smaller class sizes, they will be able to accommodate those students who need more one-on-one time in a special subject. Board President John Toff says the board will look into the teachers' pleas in a closed-door executive session. The next board meeting is scheduled for next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Governor Tom Corbett made comments today that raised some of them. While being interviewed on Channel 21 WHP-TV in Harrisburg, he compared same-sex marriage to the marriage of a brother and sister. That comment came in response to an anchor's question about a statement that lawyers made in a recent court filing. That comment compared gay marriage to the marriage of children because neither can legally marry in the state. Corbett said that was an inappropriate analogy, adding a better one would be the marriage of a brother and sister. Later today, Corbett said the comments were not intended to offend anyone. Corbett also said he does not think a pending legal challenge to Pennsylvania's ban on same-sex marriage belongs in federal court. Today was day 4 of a government shutdown. INN's Tom Foreman tells us its effects are being felt in the private sector.
You have liftoff. Lockheed Martin is one of the world's top aerospace corporations, employing 116,000 people, many on government projects. So the company is scrambling, telling those who normally work at now closed government offices to go to other Lockheed buildings or work from home, while the company braces for whatever is coming next in a written statement saying any effect on Lockheed Martin and its employees depends on individual contract terms and, of course, on the length of the shutdown. Far beyond Washington, in dozens of states with significant numbers of federal offices, the ripples are hitting not just furloughed civil servants, but also private companies that rely on trade with the government.
It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible situation.
Colorado, for example, is home to a large number of federal research labs studying energy, the climate, wildlife, and more. They directly employ nearly 9,000 people. The University of Colorado study found that pours $1.2 billion a year into the state's economy, money that is not flowing now.
They spend their paychecks in their communities. They spend money at restaurants, they're spending money on their rents. car payments, entertainment.
Some companies with longer-term business cycles say they can wait to see what happens. But at City View Bar and Grill in Baltimore, the impact has been immediate. This place is close to a huge Social Security office, and the lunch crowd has been hijacked.
The last 3-4 days, it's very difficult. If you continue, so I'm not going to be able to survive now.
It is difficult to calculate how many jobs in the private sector may be affected if this goes on, but just to make it a little bit harder, the people in the government charged with counting such things, they're not working either.
That was INN's Tom Foreman. Much more has been learned about the woman who was shot outside of the Capitol building yesterday, and questions have been raised as to whether she should have been. Phil Doherty has more.
Officer racing to the scene of a police chase and deadly shooting in Washington, D.C. yesterday ends up in a wreck himself. A witness captured the crash on camera. The officer slammed into a barricade on his way to yesterday's lockdown situation on Capitol Hill. Meanwhile, we know a little bit more about the woman at the center of that chase. Her name was Miriam Carey. Police say she tried to ram her way through a barricade at the White House. She was then chased for 12 blocks until officers shot and killed her. Police are questioning her family, trying to nail down a motive.
It's out of the ordinary, so of course they're shocked, and as a family member as well as how this whole thing occurred, because no one knows the exact circumstances of how this really occurred.
Carey's 1-year-old child was in the back seat the whole time, but fortunately was not hurt.
A national research group ranked the roads in the Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Hazleton area among the worst in the country. The Road Information Project, or TRIP, ranked this area 17th worst among 62 urban areas with populations between 250,000 and 500,000. It says 32% of the region's roads are in poor condition, and it says the average car owner pays $539 annually in vehicle maintenance costs related to poor roads, 18th nationally. TRIP's Bumpy Roads Ahead report noted the $40 billion Federal Service Transportation Program is set to expire September 30th of 2014. Without action from Congress to boost the highway funding, the report said Pennsylvania could lose $1.9 billion in highway and transit funding. Speaking of road construction, there will be some in Wilkes-Barre next week. Emergency sewer repairs will be done on South Franklin between Northampton and Market Streets. They will cause delays, so plan for them. And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Time now to check in with meteorologist Joe Garbaczyk in the Bedrock Gardens Weather Center. Joe, will we see the rain from this tropical storm?
Well, at this point, I think we will be seeing some of that rain from the tropical storm. It is Tropical Storm Karen. There you can see some video from down in the Gulf of the Mexico region. And this is courtesy of our friends at INN News. And again, that tropical system bringing some winds, bringing in some high tide, a lot of those strong rip currents as well. And like I said, she did not become a hurricane. Doesn't look like she will become a hurricane, but she's a pretty good, potent tropical storm. 50-mile-per-hour winds with gusts up to 65. Let's take a look at the infrared satellite imagery. Keep in mind, when you see the oranges and yellows, those indicate the colder cloud tops, which means those are the ones that grow more vertically up in the atmosphere, which means those are the ones that have more of a punch. That's what you want to see when you see these storms developing very quickly and getting their act together. Now, it does look like she will impact our weather as we go into our Monday. I will let you know how she'll impact our weather coming up after these commercial messages.
Homebrew your own wine with Simply Homebrew. Let their award-winning winemaker guide you through the entire process with 3 winemaking sessions, including the use of fresh winemaking juice and grapes, winery-grade equipment. Choose your own bottles, corks, and decorative caps. Design your own custom labels. You will be guided through the entire process from start to finish. It has never been easier to start home brewing. Simply Homebrew, 2 Honey Hole Road in Drums, 788-2311. Heritage Hills 13th Annual Alzheimer's Memory Walk is being held Saturday, October 5th at Heritage Hills Senior Community in Weatherly. Registration is at 9 and the 3-mile walk through picturesque Weatherly begins at 10. There will be a tricky tree auction from 9 until noon. For more information, please contact Lisa Marie at 570-427-4500. Heritage SureSave, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. Come see for yourself. They have the freshest selection of meats, cheese, and produce. Baked goods made fresh on premises. They have an in-store butcher who is happy to accommodate your special orders. Be sure to stop in and check out their unadvertised specials. You'll find them throughout the store. See their flyer for weekly specials. Heritage SureSave, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. This week at Heritage, their super hot deal of the week is their boneless and skinless chicken breast, only $1.79 a pound. In the fall, there's nothing more relaxing than taking a walk with your dog on the many paths and trails in our area. You can enjoy all this and help the Relay for Life by participating in the Pause for a Cause Walk Sunday, October 6th at Whitetail Preserve. Registration is at $12.30, $15 per dog, and the 1 mile walk begins at 1:30. For more information on how you and your best friend can help the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life, call Mary at 570-401-3970.
Weather to talk about. In fact, you name it, there is something going on, all kinds of weather throughout the entire nation. Of course, we have to deal with the tropical storm Karen that I showed you right before we went into break. Again, it doesn't look like she's going to make it to a hurricane, but a tropical storm is still nothing to take lightly. 50-mile-per-hour winds, gusts up to 65-mile-per-hour winds. That's the tropical storm. There's a snowstorm brewing out there toward the west, the north-central part of the United States. North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, parts of Wyoming are getting hit very hard with a lot of snow, blowing and drifting of snow. Add to that, there's actually some severe weather occurring. You see this line of showers and thunderstorms? You name it, everything's going on across the nation. And before all is said and done, I think we're going to be dealing with some weather as we go into Sunday night, Monday, and Monday night. It looks like we're going to be dealing with some rain across our region. 67 degrees, our live Lehigh Tire conditions outside our television station in Hazleton. Pressure coming in at 30.02 inches of mercury. At least here at the station, we stayed dry throughout the daytime hours. Not the case everywhere. Some locations did see a couple of showers here and there, and there was even a few thunderstorms across parts of the state of Pennsylvania. Our Robert Stevens Face and Body Almanac page for the day, 78 and 63. That's above the average high and low of 65 and 45. 87 and 27, the record high and low still stand. 704, 640, sunrise and sunset for tomorrow. So it was a mild morning, generally 50s to lower 60s out there, and we rebounded up into the 70s and lower 80s. You can't get better weather than what we've seen the last couple days temperature-wise across our region. 69 now in Berwick, 63 in New Angola, 70 degrees in Bloomsburg, 68 in Monomoy City, and 68 degrees in Danville. Satellites and radar, you can see a couple of those showers, even a lone thunderstorm or two, making their way into our region. As I told you at the 5 o'clock hour, could not take that threat of a shower or storm out of our forecast. They existed, and they came through. But now if you notice out toward the west, not a whole lot going on. A little bit out in the Ohio Valley region, still some clouds around, skycast precipitation and clouds. Maybe tomorrow we may have to deal with a shower at best, but that pretty much is about it. Going into our Sunday, I think we're going to stay dry. Then as we start going into our Sunday night, that front will get closer to our area, interaction with some of the moisture from Karen, and I think we're going to be looking at some accumulating rain going into Sunday night, and as we go into our Monday, as we go into the afternoon hours of Monday, into the evening hours of Monday, and then into Monday night as well. Here's a look at some of the numbers as we go through tonight. Mild for tomorrow, 70s, lower 80s, and looking like it'll stay mild going into tomorrow night and even as we go into our Sunday. So overall a nice day tomorrow, maybe a shower, but then here comes the next weather maker as we go on to Sunday night, Monday, and Monday night. And before all is said and done, we're looking at a widespread, probably a good 1-2 inches of rain, but depending on the exact track of everything, we can be looking at possibly more than that. As you can see the graphic right in here, they're going to be looking at 2, 3, 4 inches of rain. And again, if that's the case, it wouldn't surprise me Monday if there's not flash flood watches in effect, maybe some flood warnings in effect. Small streams and creeks, got to keep an eye on those as well. Just be aware of that. All right, so tonight, not bad. Tomorrow, even better. Temperature-wise, 70s and lower 80s. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys, a division of Arc Electric. Here's what we can expect over the next few days. we could call it the calm before the storm system going into Sunday, and then we're going to have to deal with the rain, some thunderstorms, and of course you know those thunderstorms can produce locally heavy downpours from time to time, and then finally everything moves out by our Tuesday and then paves the way for a quiet Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Our evening Pennsylvania lottery numbers, the daily 363, the big 4, 7013. Quinto numbers looking like this: 37323, and the cash 5, 9, 11, 18, 38, and 40. Back to you, Ann.
Thanks, Joe. Coming up next, where you can see an art exhibit this weekend, that and much more, coming up on Late Edition.
Swing to Big Bad Voodoo Daddy October 18th at the Alice E. Wiltsey Performing Arts Center at the Historic Castle in Hazleton. 2013 marks the 20th anniversary of Big Bad Voodoo Daddy's remarkable arrival onto the music scene. And today, the high-energy 9-piece ensemble continues to remind the world that it's still cool to swing big band style. Join the party. Shake and move to the groove October 18th.
Hi, sir. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Can I just get your name for our mailing list?
Yeah, sure. Smitty Jones.
Is that the same Smitty Jones that lives at 1 Phillip Street?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't complete this transaction.
What do you mean? I'm just buying a candy bar.
Unfortunately, your credit score is too low.
What do you mean? I'm paying cash.
Sir, I'm going to need you to settle down.
Listen, I'm not freaking out.
Security!
Come on.
Clean up. Check out 15. Clean up.
Even if your credit is this bad, we can still help. Penn Financial Group. We stop foreclosures, stop sheriff sales, reduce or eliminate your debt, and improve your credit rating, guaranteed. Call us today for a free consultation. Penn Financial Group. Get credit happy.
A winning smile. It's not the secret to success, but it sure helps. Protect your smile by visiting Dr. Weiss for complete dental services. Dr. Weiss offers a full-service denture laboratory on premises, offering dentures in one day. 3 dentists, 4 hygienists, and a team of caring technicians and assistants specializing in quality dentures and repairs, complete general dentistry, extractions, cleaning, and caps. Dr. Weiss, where you can have new dentures in one day.
For all your projects, large and small, Bedrock Gardens has it all. They are fully stocked and ready to fill your order. Rubber mulch and rubber curbing to match. Lots of color choices to pick from. Wall stone, natural stone, full pallets ready to go. Their bins are full with rich colored quality mulch that will look wonderful all season long. Finish off your fabulous outdoor space with their quality patio furniture and easy to assemble fire pits. Everything you need for your summer projects. Delivery available, or just stop by and they will load you up. Bedrock Gardens, locally owned and operated. Call today.
Some people call it healthcare reform, others call it Obamacare. On this week's show, I'm joined by Dr. Frank Polidoro of DRUMS, who will educate us on the history of this legislation, its pros, its cons, and why you should be very concerned about government intervention and control of your health. This week on Storm Politics, only on WYLN.
Welcome back. The art of Yankel Ginsberg is currently being viewed at Penn State Hazleton's campus. WYLN's Julie Stefanovich was there at the grand opening and spoke with the artist about his work.
Artwork by world-renowned artist Yankel Ginsberg graced the walls of the Atrium Gallery at Penn State's Hazleton campus. The exhibit opened Thursday evening and runs through Sunday. The on-campus gallery is located in the lobby of the Evelyn Graham Building. It is part of Penn State's current fundraiser, For the Future, the campaign for Penn State students. Before speaking to a standing room only crowd, Ginsberg talked with us about his background and lifelong career in the arts.
At age 12, my family fled the Soviet Union, and I found myself searching for a new way of expressing myself. At that time, I was writing poetry in Russian. It was children's poetry, but it was nevertheless poetry. And without hesitation, and not knowing that I'm supposed to fail, I sent the poetry to a local newspaper, where the editor examined it and realized it's from a very young person. He sent it back and he said, you know, if you illustrate it, I will consider publishing it. And then within 3 or 4 weeks, coming home from school, and I was at that time 13 and a half years old, I walk into my parents' home, and there is this very large woman, apparently the art critic of the local paper, wants to know who did those drawings. I said, I did. She said, you did it? It's amazing. Well, you need to go to study art.
At the advice of the art critic, Ginsberg went on to be accepted at the Academy of Arts on a full scholarship at the age of 14. He was then discovered by a friend of President Johnson, which in turn brought him to the United States, where he flourished as an artist. He explains his techniques learned throughout the years.
But I can't help it. I am hyper-realist, and everything that I do has to be very meticulous, very sharp, very precise. But above all, the composition has to be very intelligent and entertaining. As far as the prints are concerned in this area, these are all lithographs made on canvas. And I know for a fact, not just in my case, but in many artists' cases too, that lithographs are never made unless the work of art have withstood the test of time, because the cost of making a lithograph is very expensive, very high, and why would you do it with something that's maybe not going to be passing the test of time?
2 of Ginsberg's paintings were unveiled at last night's gala, which will be included in Penn State's permanent collection. He spoke about viewers' reaction to his works.
The most common reaction that I have from viewers is they are absolutely amazed by the technical perfection that the paintings are made. Second one everybody wants to know is, how long does it take you to do it? The third one is that's always perplexed, because everybody wants to know, how much does it cost? Everybody wants to know the cost factor, the time that it takes to be made, and actually the cost of the work of art. Well, cost of art nowadays is measured not by how much time the artist invested in the work, but how much culture does it bring? What pleasure does it bring to other people? And that's the value.
When asked if he'll ever retire,
now I'm at the stage that everybody says to me, age 67, are you collecting Social Security? I said, artist never retires. I can't wait to wake up to go to the studio and work, and then sit and curse and complain about how things are not going my way. But that's part of life. That's how it's intended to be. And not to use words like I love doing it every day. I just need it to be there. I just need to create something. I just need to make something out of myself. I need to do something out of something that doesn't exist. And that really is the trick of the day.
Ginsberg's masterpieces can be viewed from now until Sunday, October 6th from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. It promises to be a visit that will astonish artists and art enthusiasts alike. In Sugarloaf Township, for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. Coming up next, Beth Mensinger has highlights from Week 6 of Friday Night Football. Stay tuned, that and much more coming up on Late Edition, only on WYLN.
Hi everybody, this is Richie Molinaro, Marketing Director for Fairway Chevrolet in Hazleton. Since Berwick Chevrolet is no longer an authorized Chevrolet dealer, I'd like to personally invite you to join our Fairway family. We'll provide you with the utmost courtesy, from Chevrolet sales, service, and parts to our state-of-the-art body shop and auto spot. We have over 300 new and pre-owned vehicles in stock. We're the #1 commercial truck and business elite dealer in Pennsylvania, and we would be honored to be your Chevrolet dealer.
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. For chauffeurs and shuttle pilots, heavy haulers and trophy trout fishermen, which is why we've built our new Discoverer AT3 for all traction, all terrain, all the time performance. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
Why should you visit Penn State Hazleton?
Because if you come to our Penn State Day open house, there's no application fee. We have fun.
We have the Lion.
We have new scholarship money.
Students are scoring internships
all over the country. Penn State is ranked #1
by corporate recruiters.
And this is your chance to see campus, talk to students, meet professors, and check out everything Penn State has to offer.
Penn State Hazleton.
Check us out at psu.edu/Visit Hazleton.
Off the Beaten Path is a half-hour program that showcases interesting and unique people, places, and things in Pennsylvania. Hosted by Jeff Bonomo, Brian Bromley, and Ken Kara, Off the Beaten Path is fast-paced, light-hearted, and sometimes even downright funny. Each show, we travel to many destinations in Pennsylvania, including restaurants, events, unique landmarks, and we talk with interesting people. So come with us off the Beaten Path.
Welcome to Week 6 of Friday Night High School Football. Tonight we start in Plymouth in the Wyoming Valley Conference. The Wyoming Valley West Spartans suffered their only loss to Berwick early in the season, but tonight they looked for the home win against Stroudsburg. Jamar Taylor here and company look ready for the game as they continue to pump themselves up, but maybe we spoke too soon. Opening kickoff, and Justin Pierre from Stroudsburg returns at 59 yards to the Spartans' 34-yard line. Later that drive, Mike Nikorak, he will get the 1-yard touchdown score for Stroudsburg, and they are up first. Next, Wyoming Valley West will get the ball and will drive. It's Michael Bauer to Michael Sands for the big first down there for the Spartans. And later, in that same possession, Bauer finds his way in from 4 yards out, and Valley West will take the win over Stroudsburg, 42-28. Next, the Millionaires headed to Wilkes-Barre Memorial Field to take on the Coughlin Crusaders. First up, Williamsport ball. Dale Brurenheimer is in trouble as Paul Cole gets the sack and the stop on the next Coughlin possession. The game will be all tied up at 6s, and Cole will run it in from 3 yards out, 31-6. About 2 minutes left in the first half for Coughlin. Williamsport, Jesse Walker playing Big D. He breaks up this pass. And then about 30 seconds left, the Crusaders' Tim Pilch is intercepted by Justin Hoffman, but Coughlin will eventually hold on and win it. The final there, 39-19. A few other scores in the Wyoming Valley Conference. First up, Pittston area wins over Dallas. At last word, Holy Redeemer was up 12-0 against Wyoming area, and in the fourth, Northwest up big, 44-7. Lehman wins over 42-7 over GAR, and high scorer here for Myers and Hanover area. Hanover wins 42-36. In the Anthracite Football League, the North Schuylkill Spartans coming off a huge loss last week to the Marion Colts. The loss came at the hands of their own with a big turnover at the end of the game. They'll try to keep those turnovers low tonight. While Tamaqua is on the field, they're going without one of their favorite players, Dustin Vandermartin. It was the first of 2 pinkouts in the Anthracite Football League as Tamaqua hosted North Schuylkill. In the first possession of the game for North Schuylkill, here is a big 48-yard run by Major Jordan before he is brought down by the Tamaqua secondary. 2 plays later, 6 yards out, Austin Hummel rushes for the first score of the night. It's 7-zip after the good extra point. Tamaqua's quarterback Nate Edmonds in the shotgun. He will find Tyler Hope, who got the ball a lot tonight. A great catch for the senior, and he's brought down. Tamaqua, they're setting up the score when Edmonds steps back, fires to Zach Zuccotti. It's knocked out there by North Schuylkill. He fumbles, and North Schuylkill's Pat Gownley will come up with it. Second quarter, Tamaqua ball again. Edmonds pitches to Hope, and he will take it to the house. A 47-yard touchdown, and it's 7-6 as the Blue Raiders try but cannot convert. 2 points later in the quarter. Tamaqua punt here is shanked, but that gives the Spartans a great position to score. Bobby Gregas, quarterback for North Schuylkill, sets up the offense at the 8-yard line. He takes it himself. North Schuylkill will win it 21-14. Next, we head to Marion Catholic, where they hosted Panther Valley for the second pink out of the night. Pink balloons were released at halftime as the Colts led Panther Valley 12-0. In the third quarter, Lucas Damien controlling the offense for the Colts. He looks for the open receiver in the end zone, but it's broken up by a good play for the Panther Valley defense. Same possession. Damien will hand off the ball to Anthony Augusti. It's a long run. Augusti will eventually be pushed out of bounds, but it sets up the first and goal. Only a few inches away from another 6 points for the Colts. Hand off to Sam Badusky, and he takes it in. Marion wins that one, 25-0. A couple other scores in the AFL. Jim Thorpe shuts out Minersville. The Hurricanes big over the Shenandoah Valley Blue Devils, 48-7.
And the undefeated Golden Bears of Monroe area, they will play tomorrow afternoon against Carson Long. And tonight, the WYLN sports crew had the night off, but don't worry, we have a special Saturday night football presentation set for tomorrow when the Hazleton area Cougars head up Route 309 and face off with the Crestwood Comets. The pregame show starts at 6:45. Kickoff is set for 7 right here on WYLN. Stay tuned. Ann has your top story recaps, and I'll have more highlights in the second half.
All Care Home Care, the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational, speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
Join us this week on Wellness Through Physical Therapy. Ting will bring 2 of his clients along. Missy and Ted, they're going to tell you about their journey to wellness with a little help from Hazleton Physical Therapy. It's coming up this week. Join us.
Recapping tonight's top stories, 2 break-ins at a home on Hazleton on Alter Street in just 24 hours. And for what? Copper pipes.
Last evening there was a little bit of noise, and I went in my basement and I saw that some water was coming out of one of the pipes, but there was just one pipe that was broken. So I went and checked, and my back door had been broken into on the other side of the house, and there was no one around. And then when I walked between the houses, I saw that the neighbor's house, their lights were on in the basement. Water was pouring in their basement. So then I called the police and boarded up the house. After that, thought everything would be okay.
Nashko said she had her boyfriend check on her home around 10 o'clock this morning, and he said everything was fine. By the time she returned home at 3 p.m., she noticed the second break-in.
Even though I had piled all kinds of things in front of the door, and when I went down the basement, all the pipes were gone. Just unbelievable. In broad daylight, how brazen people are. It's just getting horrendous the way the crime is getting and continuing. And this is going on and on with the copper thefts. There's got to be some way of doing something to catch some of these people.
Hazleton police officer Sean Conti says there is a way to catch these criminals. Alert the police immediately if you see any suspicious activity.
For the community to know that when they see a crime being committed, it's very important that they call 911 and report it when it's occurring. Telling your neighbor about it the following day doesn't help us do our job. And by not reporting this, next week it could be your own house involved. We need citizens' help for us to do our job, to help keep them safe and protect their property.
Nashko says she was home at the time of the first break-in and says just living in the area is getting extremely scary.
I was in the house last night when this happened, when someone came into my house. That's frightening to think that someone would do that. Last summer we had an incident where I found tools in the backyard that there was a torch, there was pipe cutters, there was pliers, different things, which I knew that intention was happening, and my window was kicked in. So we nailed up all the windows, so all my windows are now blocked up in the basement. Now I have to do the first floor. I mean, this is ridiculous, where we have to be prisoners in our own houses in a city that we've lived in forever.
As of now, Nashko has no running water and is relying on bottled water until her insurance company can help. Well, just after 7:30 this morning, emergency responders in Hazleton responded to an accident involving an SUV and a Weatherly area school bus. These pictures are from the Hazleton Fire Department. According to police, the accident happened on 1st and Locust Streets in the city. The Ford was traveling west on 1st Street, and the bus was traveling north on Locust. The Ford failed to stop at a stop sign, hitting the side of the bus. 4 passengers on the bus were transported to Hazleton General Hospital for evaluation, APTS, along with the Hazleton Fire and Police Departments. 36-year-old John Michael Kuniskis is facing homicide by vehicle charges, fleeing from the scene of an accident, involuntary manslaughter, tampering with evidence, and several other summary offenses after turning himself into police today. Kukunis is accused of hitting and killing 65-year-old Dean Darsky with his car on Mother's Day in front of her home at 302 Westminster Road in Jenkins Township. Darsky was trying to remove a political flyer attached to her mailbox at the time. Darsky's family sought to have Kuniskis' assets frozen in anticipation of a civil lawsuit. It targeted his sprinkler system business. He was arraigned this afternoon and declined to comment on those charges. West Hazelton police obtained a picture from surveillance cameras at the Crown Fried Chicken where a woman is accused of stealing an employee's cell phone. According to police, the woman entered the restaurant to use the restroom, and when she exited, she removed a Samsung Galaxy S3 cell phone from the counter. The incident happened on September 28th, just before 3 p.m. Anyone who may recognize this woman is asked to contact the police department at 570-455-3733 or dial 911. An early morning fire in Mount Carbon damaged an abandoned home and the fire station. It broke out about 4:30 this morning in a home on North Main Street. It spread to a neighboring home and then to the Mount Carbon North Manheim Township Fire Company No. 1. Firefighters were able to remove equipment at the station before the fire damaged it. One person was displaced and is being assisted by the American Red Cross of the Greater Lehigh Valley. And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Time now to check in with meteorologist Joe Garbacik in the Bedrock Gardens Weather Center. Joe?
Thank you very much, Ann. Well, it is a nice evening in store for our region. It's been nice today. It's a nice evening. It's going to be a nice overnight. How about tomorrow and this upcoming weekend? What can we expect? I'll let you know with the 7-day forecast. But I tell you what, those leaves continuing to change colors across our region. Here's a look at the fall foliage graphic. And things are looking pretty nice, and we're looking at some moderate changes of colors right through the beginning part of next week. And in the next week, 2-3 weeks, we're going to be looking at the best time to view the fall foliage colors. What can we expect with that 7-day forecast? I'll get you all the details that you want coming up in a few.
What you sleep on can change your life. It affects how you feel, your relationships, how you perform. Let the folks at Grand Central custom fit the right sleeping surface just for you. Get free interest for 36 months, free delivery, free removal, free bed frame, plus a free furniture gift card on Sealy Posturepedic hybrids and Optimum bedding. Be custom fit. Get lots of freebies. Everybody shops Grand Central. Shouldn't you?
As a diabetic, where do I turn for the special healthcare products and advice I need?
Come into your nearby Good Neighbor Pharmacy. We specialize in the unique concerns and needs you have as a diabetic patient. Your Good Neighbor pharmacist has a fully trained staff, stocks a broad selection of the products you need, and takes a personal interest in your health and well-being.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600. WYLN, your first choice for locally produced shows like Chef Lou, Jen-tastic Sweets, Off the Beaten Path, The Storm, and more. Find out how you can stretch your advertising dollars and be a part of the WYLN TV lineup. Call 570-459-1869, extension 1302. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome back. Wilkes University unveiled its new Science Center this afternoon, and our LA Tyrone has all the details.
Wilkes University has been known as a science school since its inception as Wilkes College 8 decades ago. Well, that reputation was furthered today with the formal opening of the new Lawrence and Sally Cohen Science Center. I say formal opening because it got its soft opening in August. Classes are already being held in it. Let's call today its formal coming out party. There was a long list of guests and speakers, including board chairman Jack Mellon, who's also an alumnus, class of 1968.
What a privilege it is to be here at this historic event for Wilkes University.
The center is named after the Cohens, the Benko Dental chairman and his wife, as the Cohen family donated $2.5 million toward its construction. Lawrence Cohen is also a 1957 Wilkes graduate and a former trustee of 14 years. Another donor is John Cefali, the vice chairman of Chrisman and Wakefield.
Well, it's just satisfying to have something like this in Wilkes-Barre and for the university to just really enhances, I think, the learning experience and the environment, especially in the science, health, and engineering sections of the university. So I think it'll be a great addition to the community in northeastern Pennsylvania and obviously the students of Wilkes.
And he says there was a sort of personal reason for that involvement.
My wife's uncle, Cromwell Thomas, taught engineering here for a number of years, so we were sort of motivated by that aspect to donate to the university.
Dale Bronze is with Wilkes, and he says the Science Center was a long time coming.
Well, it's been several years. The faculty and staff probably 4 or 5 years ago met with an architect programming person before we actually designed things, and then by the last 2 or 3 years we've actually been working with the several architecture firms, including one that outfits labs, specifically science labs. So the last probably 3 years have been very well focused.
And he says it will enhance Wilkes' already strong science reputation.
We've always been strong in science and in engineering. Environmental engineering is in the new building. We've had up to $2.5 million worth of external grants with faculty. Most of our students do work on those. And this will just take it, two levels up. We've been successful with the old facility, with National Science Foundation, National Institute of Health, Department of Energy, Department of Defense on funding over the last 20 years. And we're hoping this just takes us up.
As for the building itself, it is 72,500 square feet. It runs from South River Street to the Fenner Quadrangle at the center of the campus, sort of encircling the Stark Learning Center. It houses the biology and health sciences, chemistry and biochemistry, and environmental and earth sciences department. The third floor will be used by interdisciplinary labs, and everything in it is state-of-the-art. Students, as I said, have been in it since the middle of August, and one of those is junior Connor Zale.
I'm a biology major, and I've been working in fruit fly genetics, and we've been investigating unknown genes of novel function, and we've recently been able to present our research in Washington, D.C. The new building gives us excellent environments to work in, and we're able to do work that we weren't able to do beforehand in fruit fly genetics in the new building.
Well, the building was built largely on donations and university money. There was public money involved. State Senator John Yudichak is one of the main reasons state money was channeled toward it, and he says this is an investment in the region and the Commonwealth's future.
Wilkes University's Cohen Science Center here, a $35 million project, a good public-private partnership, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, investing in higher education, investing in Wilkes University, to the tune of $2 million, both RCAP and LSA funding. This is a great partnership. The future scientists of the world, those that are going to advance technologies in medicine and engineering and all the sciences are going to be here in northeastern Pennsylvania. We're putting a flag in the ground saying that we can compete with the rest of the world when it comes to the 21st century jobs. Wilkes University is leading that charge.
It's also another boost for downtown Wilkes-Barre and another reason high school students considering careers in science may choose Wilkes for training. L.A. Tyrone, WILN's Late Edition.
Thank you, L.A. Stay tuned. Beth's in with the second half of sports, only on WILN.
Bottleneck Saloon and Eatery, now open on the Square in Wilkes-Barre. Stop by to see us for lunch to break up and brighten up your day. Or get it to go. Our lunch menu ranges from light to all right, with signature salads, saloon-style sandwiches, crunchy rings, Nipa's best wings, and draft drinks to power you through the afternoon. After work, we're there to help you unwind with friends. What little bottlenecks in your day? Bottleneck Saloon and Eatery, now on the Square. See you there.
Your family's good health begins with a great team. That team is the Alliance Medical Group. We're the first healthcare provider in the greater Hazleton area to offer a fully integrated approach to family and specialized medical care. Our expanding network of more than 30 physicians and specialists are trusted by thousands for routine and complex medical treatments. For a convenient appointment at any of our 15 regional offices, simply call 501-4AMG. Alliance Medical Group. Your health, that's our specialty.
Everyone knows Dan here at Heritage Hill. He's been devoted to our family of residents for over a decade. Experienced, nurturing, exceptional. It's what our care team is all about. Our residents enjoy personal care, homemade meals, day trips, clubs, and social activities. Shepherd's Garden, our memory care neighborhood, ensures a compassionate and secure environment. Come meet us. We're honored to share our hearts, our home, our heritage of caring. Heritage Hill Senior Community in Weatherly. Call today for your free personal tour.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
Swing to Big Bad Voodoo Daddy October 18th at the Alice E. Wiltsey Performing Arts Center at the Historic Castle in Hazleton. 2013 marks the 20th anniversary of Big Bad Voodoo Daddy's remarkable arrival onto the music scene. And today, the high-energy 9-piece ensemble continues to remind the world that it's still cool to swing big band style. Join the party. Shake and move to the groove October 18th.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. You'll meet Marinda, a busy, professional working mom who is feeling a lot better due to good chiropractic care. Her story this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. Join us.
As promised, we have some more highlights from Week 6 of high school football. The undefeated Berwick Bulldogs headed north to Tunkhannock. Tunkhannock only has one win on the season. It was homecoming for the Tigers, but pretty much anything but a celebration for Tunkhannock when the Bulldogs are in town. First quarter, Berwick up 8-0. CJ Curry hits Andrew Force with the 57-yard touchdown pass. Berwick will go up 15-0. Tunkhannock's possession, they go back to pass, but it's Bulldog Ian Mizanki. He steps up in front and gets the interception. A few plays later, Dane Kowalski takes the handoff from Curry and takes it 5 yards for the score. Berwick will take the big win along with that football run there, that touchdown run, 57-3. Alex Rodriguez filed suit today accusing Major League Baseball and Commissioner Bud Selig of a witch hunt designed to smear his character and cost him tens of millions of dollars. The lawsuit was filed Thursday in New York State Supreme Court. The suit claims Selig and MLB tried to smear Rodriguez's reputation to gloss over Selig's past inaction of the use of performance-enhancing substances in baseball. MLB spokesman Matthew Monti said the league had no comment. The lawsuit was filed as Rodriguez appeals a 211-game suspension for violating baseball's drug agreement and labor contract. The Washington Nationals have asked the Yankees for permission to interview Joe Girardi. The Nats have an opening as Davey Johnson retired. There's some guess the Cincinnati Reds will also request the same permission. Yankees GM Brian Cashman has said New York would like to keep Girardi where he is. The Reds fired Dusty Baker today. The Reds lost the wild card playoff to Pittsburgh 6-2 on Tuesday night. Baker still had a year left on his contract. Dusty led the Reds to their best stretch of success since the fabled Big Red Machine of the 70s, but couldn't get them past the first round of the postseason. Baker took a rebuilding team in 2008 and led it to 3 90-win seasons and 3 playoff appearances in the last 4 years, their best run since Sparky Anderson. And Angels first baseman Albert Pujols is suing former Giants and Cardinal Jack Clark for accusing him of using steroids. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch reported that Pujols filed the lawsuit this morning in St. Louis County. It seeks unspecified damages and asked Clark to admit that the statements were false. Clark said during his former radio show that he knew, quote, for a fact that Pujols used steroids. Clark and co-host Kevin Slayton were fired the very next day. Now let's check out some of those scores tonight in baseball. It's the postseason in the NLDS. The Buccos come back big, 7-1 over the Cards after falling yesterday. The Dodgers fall to the Braves. Boston also big over Tampa Bay, 12-2 in their first game. Detroit shutting out the A's in the third. In the NHL, Calgary over the Caps 4-3 in overtime. Detroit 3-2. Buffalo fell to Ottawa. The Islanders take the win over the Devils in a shootout. Kings are trailing Winnipeg 4-2. The Avalanche are up 2-1 in the third. And Joe Gorbachev has more weather up after the break.
Managing risk is more than just buying an insurance policy. At Dreyfus, our approach is different. We have 25 risk management professionals who have the tools and experience to help our clients avoid and survive unexpected events. We can help you with risk transfer, OSHA requirements, safe workplace, cybersecurity, and claims management. All of these go well beyond an insurance policy. We're also independent, so we can access dozens of insurance carriers like Grange Insurance, who can insure your auto, home, business, and life. Dreyfus Insurance since 1901 and Grange Insurance since 1935. We're committed to helping you manage risk.
What do you see? Perhaps you're noticing the rusted fender or the dented side panel. Maybe the first thing your eye goes to is the worn interior. But look closer and you'll see something else. Value. At Harry's You Pull It, we see value in your old car and so will others. It's the reason we offer top dollar for your car. Junker, clunker, piece of tin, your car may have many names, but at Harry's, there's only one that matters. Value. Visit one of our 3 locations today in Hazleton, Pennsburg, and Allentown.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
WILN TV 35, first in live sports.
Hi, I'm Ron Jaworski. For the best in local TV sports, watch WILN TV 35.
WILN TV 35 has it covered.
Hi, my name is Vince Papelli. I'm a former Philadelphia Eagle wide receiver and special teams guy, and for local sports coverage, I watch only WILN 35.
WILN TV 35, the event, not just the highlights.
Lots of weather going on across the United States. It's not much going on across the Northeast, but if you look at these, the red boxes are actually tornado watches, which continue to be in effect. The yellow boxes are severe thunderstorm watches, which are in effect. So we got some severe weather that way. Also got some snow to deal with and a little bit of a mixture of precipitation. Big time snow event going on out in the north central part of the United States. At the same time, right down here, you don't see the precip from it because the radar site's cut off right about here, but that's Tropical Storm Karen, 50 to 65 mile per hour wind gusts, and she's going to be interacting with a front, and before all is said and done, looks like we will see rain as we go into Monday and Tuesday. Still a little bit some rain throughout parts of the state of Pennsylvania right now. 67 degrees, our live Lehigh tire conditions. Throughout the state, we're holding in the 60s. Toward the south and east, temperatures in the lower 70s. Up in the Wyoming Valley area, temperatures near 70 degrees. You can see a little bit of that rain that moved through every location. Did not see it. As we go through tomorrow, maybe a passing shower, but that's pretty much about it. Sunday not looking too bad, but then the clouds will roll in. And as we go into Sunday night, Monday morning, Monday afternoon, Monday evening, and through the part of the overnight hours, at least Monday night, looks like we're going to have to deal with some rain overspreading our area, possibility of some thunderstorms as well, and we can be looking at a decent amount of rain out of this next weather system. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys, a division of Arc Electric. Here's what we can expect over the next few days. Well, there you can see it for yourself. The graphic speaks for itself. If you only seen the stunt that I just did.
Of rain. Oh, I know. I was
going to fall over. I'm
Yeah,
like,
but
I've
he
never
slid
been
over
here.
the
desk like
I was running out of time quickly, and I just, you'd have to see
I've
it.
never been here when he's actually fallen, so I was kind of, no offense.
Well, I've taken fell a couple of times here, and I've even ran into a wall a few times, too.
It'll happen.
Don't ask.
Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. We will see you back here on Monday. Have a good one.